I'd like to ask you please to stand and play the national anthem.
Out of my way. Where is it?
Because I made a plan.
It's on the table.
I don't know where
On the
it is.
table? Oh, I see.
He's sitting there.
All right, I'll be over there.
Okay. I'll join you.
Well, I told you had Cunningham.
If it doesn't start in a minute, we're going to sing.
Stand up. More time. Mark. Forward. Mark. Guard. Halt. Left. Face. Reset. Arms.
Post.
Order. Arms. Preset. Arms. Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March.
Please be seated and enjoy your dinner.
You sitting here, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your first class, and our new warrant officer, third class. Cheers. So nobody asked you. Thank you. I just, you know what? It really needs me to work. So work. Right. Now, I got your orders. So every time I shoot it, I'll bring it back.
CWO 3 now?
I know what that means. You know what that means now. That means you get.
Pharmaceuticals industry during his service in the U.S. Army Reserve and Army National Guard of both New Jersey and New York. And then after that, he served as the chief of the Homeland Security Division, New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs from 2002 to 2004. His principal responsibilities included directing assigned military operational and logistical personnel, coordinating with other state agencies, and leading the New Jersey National Guard's Joint Operations Center to perform Homeland Security functions for the state. He was directly responsible for developing and implementing a comprehensive plan for military support to civilian authorities for New Jersey. He was appointed in November 2004 as Deputy Assistant Director, New Jersey Office of Counterterrorism, and he participated in critical infrastructure protection with subsequent assignment to OCT's training unit. Finally, he served as Special Assistant to the Director of New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness to assist government departments and agencies in the state, county, and municipal levels in developing viable community of operations and government plans in preparation for future major catastrophes that may affect New Jersey and the region. He's currently retired, except when he comes out to help us out. General Garrett, please.
My notes. Good evening, everybody. Senator, Admiral. I was wondering where to start here tonight because there's so much, even though you guys have only been in existence for about 15 years, there's just so much history here, I think, and so many people who have contributed and attempted to contribute so much of their time, their effort, their energy to making New Jersey a better and safer place. Not the least of whom are the two retirees that we have here tonight. I love that word retiree, by the way. Grand Master Sergeant Colby and Captain Jardet, please. But I'll be back to them in just a minute. I'd just like to give you a little bit of background here. As you mentioned, I first came to know the Naval Militia in the 9/11 days. Of course, I was aware of it before then. I'd been to several meetings. I knew Admiral Beard. I remember when you were dumpster diving for uniforms and everything else. And, I always give you a lot of credit for what you did to get started with nothing. And for the buildup of this Naval Militia at the time to several hundred people who simply wanted the opportunity to serve the state and the nation. And they did it very, very well. On the morning of 9/11, the Joint Operations Center, which was at Fort Dix at the time, was, I'm going to use the term manned, by a young female lieutenant, Sofia Santiago, and I believe there was 3 Naval Militia personnel there. You can imagine the chaos in that headquarters following the first attack and continuing that morning. But the Naval Militia and that young lieutenant held the fort for 2 to 3 hours until the primary staff came in and took over. And all they did was build on what the others had done. Quite a testament to the maturity and the intensity of effort that the Naval Militia was able to put in when everybody in the nation was surprised by that attack. Following the attack, of course, we spent a lot of time in New York City. For those of you who may have been involved, you might remember that there was a lot of trouble getting into the city. You almost had to be God to get in there on the highway. We found that the best way in, of course, in many cases we couldn't even take a helicopter over, was the Naval Militia, the New Jersey Naval Militia, augmented by the state police. Actually, I found the Naval Militia to be able to do more because the state police was so diversified in their effort. We could go in from Jersey City to New York City, right into Ground Zero, and back at any time, 24/7, Never once did I have to wait for a full hour for a craft to pick me up one way or the other to bring us back and forth. These were times when we had to go back and forth between New York and New Jersey and the city itself, and there was just no way to do it other than with the Naval Militia. Following 9/11 itself, we expanded the use of the Naval Militia when we had to guard much of the seacoast, especially the nuclear power plants. They were on patrol, and the weather got worse, and the water got rougher. And I'm a landlubber, and I was glad to be in the infantry on the ground when I looked out at these guys bobbing around in the water, their little tiny boats, no matter what the weather was. But the bottom line is, the Naval Militia was always there for us, for the state, for the nation. They never once failed, they never complained. In the interim period was fresh kills in Staten Island. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to go up there, anybody in the room. Anybody here today? You were up there, right? And, it was a horrible, horrible place. Dennis, I know you were there. It was basically a camp. And it's where we kept young police officers, young federal agents. It's where we brought a lot of the remains and material that had to be sifted and gone through literally on a conveyor belt. It was an unpleasant place, to say the least. Who ran it? The New Jersey Naval Militia. And then later, and throughout the period of time, we found the chaplains that were in the Naval Militia, the medical people, the psychiatrists, anybody that could help in any way, was out there with those young troops in the field providing and supporting. At the time, New Jersey Naval Militia was, I think you had 5 or 6 boats at the time, about 300 or 400 people. I don't remember all the figures. New York was a pittance of that. New York State I'm talking about. However, following 9/11, for somehow that turned around. Today, I think you have one operational boat, maybe a couple that could go in pretty quickly. New York had about, I think, somewhere over a dozen. They're still on the Hudson. They're guarding the nuclear power plant. They're up on the Great Lakes. I heard now that they're in the Finger Lakes. I'm not sure of that. But they've managed to expand themselves, even in this time of tight austerity. And why? It's because they have volunteers. They have people who want to serve, that aren't interested in getting paid, that are willing to put on a uniform, sacrifice their time, sacrifice their family's time, and get out and do the job. It is amazing to me when I look at the map of New Jersey, and even a dumb infantry guy like me can realize it's a peninsula, that we don't have more effort on our maritime forces. We have a tremendous Army and tremendous Air Forces. Navy is lacking, in my humble opinion. I think we're building cyber now. So I'm really thrilled tonight to see the Adjutant General in New Jersey and the Senator here tonight to honor what you've been doing and hopefully exploit your continued potential. If you look at New Jersey, we have water from the port, from New York and New Jersey, which is 80% of New Jersey, all the way around, down through Cape May, all the way up to Delaware, navigable water to train. Throughout that, there's a tremendous amount of infrastructure. Years ago, I always thought if we lost the port, we'd just send the ship somewhere else. Over time, I learned that's not feasible. Ports just can't take every ship, and they're already scheduled. And we've done a tremendous amount of exercises to the damage that would be done to this side of the nation if our ports were ever taken out. While I was in Homeland Security, I had the privilege of working liaison with the Coast Guard in both New York and in Philadelphia. Great people, highly motivated, did everything they could. The bottom line is they got very little to work with. They need all the augmentation they can get, whether it be the state police, the naval militia, or anything else, or anybody else. We look to bring liquid petroleum, nitrogen, up the Delaware River. 7 counties, 2 states, I forget how many townships, and almost nobody out there to protect the waterways, except the patrolling of the Coast Guard. And they only had 2 boats at the time that could do that. In other words, in my opinion, you can't have too many friendlies on the battlefield. New Jersey has the potential to be a very, very serious battlefield. And it would seem to me that not only do we want to continue to support the land army and the air army, if you will, and the cyber army, but also our water army. From what I'm reading now, and I don't want to pretend like I'm current, the National Guard has the potential to be cut from somewhere down to 350 to 315,000 I'm talking about. I have no idea, I'll leave it to the Adjutant General to remark on what that means to New Jersey as far as potential force numbers. Bottom line is, we can lose more people than we have. And in my opinion, we don't have enough as it is. We look at where the 50th Armored Division was 20 years ago in New Jersey. God, we had close to 20,000 people. That's not even counting the Air Force. And now I believe we're somewhere around 8,000 to 9,000, again, not knowing. So there's room, in my opinion, for a lot of growth for the Naval Militia. You have the potential, you have the background, you have the motivation, you have the training, you have the skill sets. I'd like to see you in the water. As far as leadership, every organization is a sum of its people. And nothing bad can be said about the people that have manned and crewed New Jersey Naval Militia, as far as I'm concerned. But it takes leadership also. We have two outstanding leaders here tonight who are retiring. Command Master Chief Colby and Captain Gurday. I've known the Chief since, 20 years ago, I guess? Way back when he was doing that chemical stuff that no one understood up in East Orange. And he's been an outstanding, you know him better than I. You know him better than I as far as working with him on a daily basis. What a leader. My father retired from the Navy as an E-7 Chief. And he wanted me to go to sea, but I spent one day on a boat and that was it for me. I don't even go fishing. But he always told me, follow your chiefs, listen to your chiefs. When he finally figured out I wasn't going to go in the Navy, listen to your sergeants, listen to your NCOs. They have never failed me. And I know, Chief, I salute you. You've never failed the Naval Militia, and I don't think it's ever failed you. So thank you very much for your 88,000 years of service. I've known Wayne since prior to 9/11. I don't really remember when. I'd say 98, somewhere back in there, when he was working as a legislative liaison for DeMava. Wayne's got a very, very varied background. A little bit he'll tell you. He was a pilot. Says he was anyway. Says he landed on. I know I wouldn't fly with him because I've seen him on a motorcycle. But seriously, he's just been a wonderful person to know and to work with. And what I compliment Wayne for is no matter how bad it got, as far as lack of support in prior administrations as far as the Naval Militia, this guy never quit. He never gave up. He's banging on doors, kicking desks, doing whatever he can to promote the value of the Naval Militia to the state of New Jersey and our great nation. So Wayne, I compliment you. I can't say enough. I know you're moving away. I just hope you don't become a stranger. And he's going to spend half his life up on the Great Lakes and the other half up on the St. Lawrence River, the other half in Florida. And I'm telling you, if you get it reversed, you're going to be mighty, mighty uncomfortable. So I hope you've got it figured out well, and I wish you and Cindy and your family all the very, very best, and never say goodbye. So it's my honor to be here tonight. I can't stress enough of my admiration for the Naval Militia. I've seen it at work, I've seen it at play. I've seen it support, I've never seen it fail. I've never seen it quit, no matter how adverse it is. You've got a wonderful nucleus. I hope you're able to build it. Thank you very much.
General, I'll let you sit down before I finish one thing. I have to correct something I did several years ago. In 2005, the general was kind enough to come and speak at one of our meetings, and he had always supported us, and I always appreciated him, and I didn't know the words to put it in, so I wrote a certificate of achievement, of appreciation. And I said, "Damn it, thank you, sir," because I didn't know any other words. And a few years later, he approached me at another meeting, and he said, "Ed," he says, "there's got to be something behind that, some hidden meaning. Why did you spell damn it D-A-M-M-I-T?" And I didn't have an answer, but the answer is that's the way we talk where I come from. It's like, damn it, the gummit, you know? But anyway, I want to correct that tonight by another certificate of appreciation. It reads, "Corrected Certificate of Appreciation, presented to Major General Tom Garrett." Darn it, I'm more politically correct. Darn it, thank you, sir. Yes, sir, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Now I'm going to turn it over to Commander Cooperman for our retirement ceremonies. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you all for being here to commemorate the retirement of our lieutenants and shipmates. We are gathered here this evening to witness the final stage in two very full and productive careers in the New Jersey Naval Militia and in the regular Navy. We are also gathered here to say thanks to two good shipmates. Thanks for the many contributions which, in their own unique ways, have made the New Jersey Naval Militia a stronger and more capable force in our efforts to support the citizens of New Jersey and the state. Thanks for their many dedicated hours and personal initiatives that have helped to make the New Jersey Naval Militia's Joint Command a proud organization. Thanks for being the types of leaders that have inspired us to carry on the legacy demonstrated during Hurricane Floyd, OPSAIL 2000, in the wake of 9/11, and by the continuous training carried out throughout those many subsequent years in preparation for future missions. Just as this is the end of one phase in their lives, it is the beginning of another. So our gathering today also gives us the opportunity to wish them every success in the future as they look forward to new challenges and new rewards. We extend especially a warm welcome to their wives. We know that you, more than any of us, are aware of the sacrifices that Captain Giodet and Command Master Chief Colby have made in their service to our organization, to the state of New Jersey, and to the nation, while in the regular Navy, and we recognize with great appreciation the sacrifices you have made to allow the service. We are indeed pleased to have you here this evening. At this time, I'd like to read a brief biography of Captain Giodet. Captain Giodet graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1969. He taught ship handling and entered flight training, resulting in designation as a naval aviator in jet aircraft. Subsequently, he was an instructor in the Advanced Jet Training Command and had an exchange tour with the U.S. Air Force, working in electronic warfare. He had 2 cruises in the Pacific, one of which was in Vietnam. After leaving the Navy, Captain Giodet was named a principal analyst for the Atlantic Analysis Corporation under contract to the U.S. Navy, where he designed Soviet threat scenarios and analyzed electronic warfare interaction in fleet exercises.
In 1978, he joined the FBI as a special agent, investigated white-collar crime, and subsequently managed special operations and organized crime investigations in New Jersey. Quite a career. He retired from the FBI in 1998, holding designations as an accountant, a pilot in command, instructor pilot, and police instructor. Captain Retirement has been working for the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command almost since its rebirth in 1999. From 2002 until 2006, he was Director of Government Relations for the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. From 2008 to 2012, he worked as Director of Quality Assurance for the Art Mercer Company, providing services to the developmentally disabled. In addition to a BS in engineering, which he acquired at the Naval Academy, he holds an MS in Business Administration and a PhD in Criminal Justice. Also, he is designated commercial instrument-rated flight
That's all right, don't worry.
pilot and in single and multi-engine aircraft, as well as a certified flight instructor, and has accumulated 5,000 hours of flight time. Captain Retirement and his wife Cindy have been residents of Cranberry, right here, down the street, for 32 years. He is a member of a variety of community and professional organizations. Command Master Chief Willie Coley served in the U.S. Navy from 1954 until 1958 aboard the USS B, BD 756 at this store, out of Newport, Rhode Island. Honorably discharged from the U.S. Navy in August 1962. He joined the Army National Guard in October 1977 and served as a Master Sergeant from March 1990 until March 1994, in charge of personnel in the 50th Armored Division of the Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical Warfare Operations Section. I guess that's what General Garrett had referred to in East Orange. He has served as Command Master Chief with the New Jersey Naval Militia since April 2000, including temporary active duty during the aftermath of 9/11. And in civilian life, he is an accomplished law enforcement officer with extensive practical experience in industrial security and investigative work. He served as a detective with the Newark Police Department, where he began his career in 1964 and retired in 1990. He earned a bachelor's degree with a major in political science and a minor in public administration in 1979 at Keene College in New Jersey. Now I would like to call upon Colonel Walter Connor, acting Commander of the Naval Militia, Joint Command, to introduce a very special guest. Colonel Connor.
I also want to welcome everybody here, generals, admiral, friends, program, and members of the unit. It's a pleasure to introduce Senator Linda Greenstein, to the podium here because she's here with her husband, Michael. Besides being a personal friend, she currently represents the 14th Legislative District in the New Jersey Senate. She serves as the Assistant Majority Leader as well as Vice Chairwoman of both Law and Public Safety Committee and the Environment and Energy Committee. She also serves as a member of the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee and the Joint Committee on Public Schools. She spent 10 years in the General Assembly in a number of leadership roles and has a strong legislative track record of protecting New Jersey's children and families. She has authored tough anti-telemarketing laws. She has been involved in property tax reform and has been honored by numerous groups, such as the New Jersey Jewish War Veterans, the AARP, New Jersey Police Benevolent Association, the New Jersey Marine Corps Reserve Association, and by our own unit, the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command. She has worked as a school board member, township committees, with the Boy Scouts of America, the New Jersey Council for the Humanities. As I said before, has been an assemblywoman and now a state senator. She has set her sights on being the next 12th Congressional District Congresswoman representing this New Jersey area. Before I bring her up to recognize the retirees, I'd like to say that many years back, her son Evan, a successful lawyer, was a high school student in my history class. And I would have discussions with this young lad every day about politics. I asked him how he knew so much about history and politics, and he answered, "My mother is a politician." I said, "Who is she?" Here she is today, New Jersey State Senator Linda Greenstein. We'll say a few words regarding the retirees. Senator Greenstein.
Well, actually, the truth of the matter is he learned a lot of it from his dad. And second of all, the truth of it, I learned a lot of it from my son. So, we all learn from each other. It is wonderful and bittersweet, actually, to be here today. Just a couple of months ago, I was discussing the Naval Militia with Wayne and with Walt and others at my office, and just hearing what I've been hearing for so many years, how we'd like to see the Naval Militia prosper and thrive, and I will always be a supporter of this group and anything I can do to help to see that you fully are able to carry out your mission. It's something I would like to be able to do. I know it's challenging and something you've been working on, but I know you're not retiring because you gave up on that. It's just that, the places you're going really sound great. So I'm sure that you're going to have a wonderful retirement. I want to wish both of you and all of you Willie Coley as well. I'm looking for your exact title here, and I'm not saying Command Master Chief Willie Coley. And I want to wish all of you a wonderful, wonderful retirement, and hope you'll have a great time and come back to visit a lot. I have these joint resolutions from the Senate and the General Assembly, from myself and Assemblyman D'Angelo and Benson. They're rather long. I won't read the whole thing, but it just says the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey are pleased to honor and salute Captain Wayne, is it pronounced Girardet? Girardet? I took French, I should know how to do this. A highly esteemed member of his Garden State community who is concluding an outstanding tenure of service as commander of the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command. A graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy, Wayne lent his wisdom and expertise as an instructor in the Advanced Jet Training Command and had an exchange tour with the U.S. Air Force working in electronic warfare, and he served his country with honor and valor during the Vietnam War. It talks about his significant contributions as a principal analyst for the Atlantic Analysis Corporation, how he was associated with the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command since 1999, has also had a superb career as a special agent with the FBI, Director of Government Relations from the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, which is where I met him, and Director of Quality Assurance for the ARC Mercer. It's altogether proper and fitting for the legislature to commend Captain Wayne Girardet for his distinguished service and to salute him as an individual of strong character and exceptional determination. And the legislature hereby honors him, pays tribute to his meritorious record of service, leadership, and commitment in behalf of the citizens of the state and nation, and extends sincere best wishes for a long and happy retirement. So I'll start with you. Congratulations. well. 4, Willie Coley, a highly esteemed member of his Garden State community, who is concluding an outstanding tenure of service as Command Master Chief of the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command. He served his country with honor as a member of the U.S. Navy aboard the USS Beatty from 1954 to 58, retired from the Naval Reserves in 1962, joined the New Jersey Army National Guard, serving as a Master Sergeant in charge of personnel in the 50th Armored Division of the Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical Warfare Operations Section, served with distinction as a detective with the Newark Police Department, retiring in 1990, has received an array of honors and awards that bear witness to his many achievements, including induction into the Chapel of Four Chaplains Legion of Honor in 2002. And this legislature hereby honors and salutes Command Master Chief Willie Coley, pays tribute to his meritorious record of service, leadership, and commitment in behalf of the citizens of this state and nation, and extends best wishes for a long and happy retirement.
As a token of our appreciation for a good friend, a great friend actually, I know she has a USMC little statue I presented to her a few years ago, along with our other plaque that we gave her. I want to give her a certificate of appreciation from our unit. I also want to give her this Patron Squadron 10 hat, which is, these are the guys who do the work actually in the Naval Militia, who fix the boats, get them running, and keep them running, and we call it the grunt work in the Marine Corps. I thought with all the outside activities she goes to and political whatevers, thought maybe you'd like this hat.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see if it fits. Okay.
It's my pleasure to introduce our next guest, and that is General Cuniff. General Cuniff is here with his wife, Diane, is the Adjutant General of New Jersey, and commands more than 9,000 soldiers and airmen of the New Jersey Army and Air National Guard. He directs, controls, and manages the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. He also manages all state veteran groups, commissions, and facilities in New Jersey. He has commanded the 108th Wing, New Jersey Air National Guard, and the 105th Air Expeditionary Air Refueling Squadron, as well as the 405th Air Expeditionary Wing in Oman. He entered the Air Force in 1982, received his wings in 1983, and has logged more than 6,000 hours of flight time and has served in many operations, including Operations Northern Watch, Joint Forge, Allied Force, Noble Eagle, Enduring Freedom, and Iraqi Freedom. He has received numerous medals and awards, including the Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service Medal with Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster, the Air Medal, Aerial Achievement Medal with Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster, the Air Force Achievement Medal, and the Joint Meritorious Unit Award, and many, many more. General Michael Cuniff accepted the rank of Brigadier General on 1 August 2007 and took over as the Adjutant General of New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs in March of 2012. I now bring up Brigadier General Michael Cuniff to award the retirees.
First of all, I came here without a speech, I came here with awards. But I do want to certainly add my personal congratulations to Captain Wayne's here today. I was down in the wings when he was up at the MAVA, Department of Military Veterans Affairs. Our paths crossed, but I don't think they completely crossed. He was retired onto apparently his fourth career by the time I got up there. So it's really a pleasure to see Wayne tonight because I've known him on and off for years, probably the last 10 or 15, I would think. And Command Master Chief, just when I got used to the Army's rank, they throw Command Master Chief William Coley at me. Dad, second class petty officer, CB-37, the USS Princeton, Essex class carrier, World War II. So, and his father served in fixing jet engines, Jenny engines in World War I with the U.S. Army Air Corps before there was even an Army Air Corps. So I have a little bit of the Army, a little bit of the Navy, and a little bit of the Air Force in me. No Marines yet. When my son's 16, we'll see what happens. It's truly an honor to be here tonight and wish both of you farewell. And, honestly, listening to the bios, I didn't read them. A well-deserved retirement. And only semi-tongue-in-cheek, it seems like this is about the fourth or fifth career you've all had, the two of you. And I want to thank you for your service to the state and nation. Gotten to work with Wayne a little more. We've done some of the Naval Academy interviews for Congress in Rush Hall. And I also want to add my personal thanks to Senator Linda Greenstein. In my job, our paths have crossed many times. She is always there for veterans. I got to correct the bio that the Colonel just read. I'm not in charge of the veterans organizations in New Jersey. The veterans organizations in New Jersey are in charge of me. And but the senator's always there. She's always side by side. I always have to follow her, which I hate because she's a great speaker. But she does so much for the veterans. And this is kind of a little suck up, not because I have to testify in front of the Budget Committee next week, Thursday, in front of her. I do expect to see the hat on. Your husband told me to tell you that. So, but it's always an honor to see the senator, and she gives such great support. So without any further ado, I'm going to read the first citation. So it's probably customary for those in uniform to stand up. So the state of New Jersey Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Captain Wayne E. Giarday. The citation reads, the state of New Jersey Meritorious Service Medal is hereby presented to Captain Wayne E. Giarday for exceptional meritorious leadership of the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command by serving as the commanding officer from 2002 to 2014. Although this was a period of critical constrained state and federal resources, Captain Giarday consistently fostered unit cohesion, a spirit of selfless volunteerism, and unit pride. He successfully created a skilled, trained cadre consisting of personnel qualified at local, state, and federal levels to develop and deliver initiatives designed to maintain and improve the unit's capabilities, readiness, and professionalism. Captain Giarday's outstanding achievements and dedication to duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service. The State of New Jersey Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Chief Master Petty Officer William Coley. Citation reads, the State of New Jersey Meritorious Service Medal is hereby presented to Command Master Chief Petty Officer William Coley for his exceptional service to the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command by serving as the Command Master Chief Petty Officer over the last 14 years. Leading by example, Command Master Chief Petty Officer Coley's professionalism, dedication to duty, managerial and administrative skills set him apart as a role model for all members of the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command.
Thank you, General Coniff.
Got it.
We are privileged also this evening to have with us to commemorate the retirement of our two colleagues, the principal founder of the contemporary Naval Militia in New Jersey, Rear Admiral Timothy Beard. Rear Admiral Beard, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, General Connor and General Garrett and our Senator here. Pleased to see everyone here, plus all of our shipmates and friends of the Naval Militia and so forth. It's indeed an honor to be here and have the opportunity to take and say a few words to you. This goes back, give you a little thumbnail sketch as such. I really go back to about 1997 when Governor Whitman and Major General Paul Glazier came to me and said, would you take and head a committee which would investigate the possibility of a naval militia for the state of New Jersey, and indeed would it be of any benefit to us? Well, 2 years later, after a group of us worked very hard to put the information together, including Colonel Bliss here, who was my right-hand person who kept me out of jail most of the time, all the time actually, and the Attorney General's office reviewing the program. It was approved, and we had in the spring of '99, it was authorized that we would take and reactivate the New Jersey Naval Militia to serve New Jersey and its citizens. In September, we received our colors from the Lieutenant General Davis out of the headquarters from National Guard headquarters in Washington, D.C. And one of the things which he said, this job is going to be a very challenging job because you're reactivating an organization which has been quiet for many years, but it will be, in his opinion, a asset to the state of New Jersey and to the citizens of the state of New Jersey. Well, once that happened, we had a group of 6 people heading up our headquarters, which Wayne was one of the key people there, and Willie came along just shortly after that. And we had our work cut out for us because we were actually starting with a 0 budget and 0 grounds to work from. And the goal was challenging. We had to take and start a recruiting program for personnel, and the requirement was that 80% of the people had to be prior military and 20% were were civilians who had critical MOSs, which would supplement the expertise of the Naval Militia. That first year, we brought in 100 plus people in 32 special areas of interest across the state, which added a great deal to the guard system. We also had to take and locate a drill site. We had to take and train personnel to Navy standards and Coast Guard standards. And then we had to take and supply and equip all volunteers. And as the General said, that's when we started dumpster diving to get uniforms and so forth, because we didn't have a DODAC number at the time. And then in addition to that, we had to take and meet the people and serve the citizens of New Jersey as best we could. The first year I said that we had approximately 22 instances where we serviced and met people and represented the governor and the adjutant general. And they had approximately 16,000 hours of training that went into the Naval Militia without charge to the state. Purely volunteer, virtually overwhelming almost. We had the Plainfield Armory was identified as a location for the Naval Militia, and I think that almost everyone in here wound up working in there to take and rejuvenate and renovate it, because it was a public building which was not taken care of very well, and it was a mess. But they put it back in shape, and we continued on, and it was a very good deal. The first year we added the Chaplain's Corps, which was utilized by the National Guard and by various groups around the state. And we also added the DMAT team, which is a medical unit which was located in New Jersey. And I was not able to serve the citizens here because it was not sponsored by any particular unit until the New Jersey Naval Militia picked them up. And we became one of our medical units that served at various times in the state very successfully. The first year we were activated 6 times. In fact, the first time we were activated was about 10 days after we received our colors, and that was for the Hurricane Floyd. Then Y2K came along, and McGuire Air Show. This is where the medical group really took a hold and did a lot of good. Opsail 2000, supported battleship New Jersey, BB-62. And we also took part in weapons of mass destruction exercises, contributing a fair amount. And I think all of you men and women did a fantastic job there because we got a lot of compliments. Year 2001 came along. This is our second year, so to speak. We grew from 100 to 170 people, officers and enlisted personnel, and we were training them all to meet U.S. Navy and U.S. Coast Guard standards. And that was a job. You did a very excellent job heading up the training group, and I have to say thank you. It takes a tough man to bring a bunch of recruits in and make them sailors. The DMAT team was deployed to the Caribbean, not by us, but by the U.S. government, as they were part of the public health system, and they enjoyed the sunshine while they worked very hard. And life was really pretty good, because we were running along smoothly, we were recruiting, we were meeting all the demands that people had. But then 9/11 came along, and this was a real test. Where were we at? What were we doing? What were we worth our salt, so to speak? And it was, because I can still remember the first plane coming in and the second plane striking the Twin Towers. Within a few minutes, we activated the DMAT team, the medical unit, and the chaplain corps, and they were down on Chelsea Pier within 6 hours. 78% of the men and women in the Naval Militia reported for active duty within 6 hours, which is a record. Then, in addition to that, we got requests from Lakehurst, for example. They wanted a platoon of people in there because they didn't trust their rent-a-cops, and we replaced them. Earl did not have any small boat security on the water, and we were requested to put small boats in there, which we did, and the people served very well. And they had people supporting the Coast Guard and the JOC at Fort Dix. A few other things that happened was that the little boats, which the general was talking about riding back and forth, actually logged 1,100 miles during this period, running back and forth from Liberty State Park to New York, back and forth. And that was a real accomplishment. And you know, we did a lot of things that just were beyond the belief. People couldn't believe that the Naval Militia, this totally volunteer service that had no budget, could do so many things so quickly and so well. And again, you know, it was fantastic. The chaplains, I want to give them, because they wound up serving for 40 days straight, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to support the FBI and the soldiers working at both at Ground Zero and over on the grounds where they were I forget what it was, Fresh Kill. And that was a tough job because of body parts and all this sort of stuff, and there were a lot of emotions involved with it. Overall, the unit served 120 active days of active duty, and they supported the state police also with the handling the Salem nuclear power plant. Those first days were pretty good. We had over 250 people in the program, and we had another 300 who had submitted applications and were in the process of being reviewed and checked out prior to being brought into the Naval Militia. However, when 2002 came around, things began to slow down, and it became more routine, and we had a new governor, a new adjutant general, and things began to slow down. We had a restriction put on the number of people that could be brought into the program and recruited. I retired in June of that year, and Wayne had the opportunity to become the commanding officer. And you know, you look at that, and when I was commanding officer, these were the good old days. We had missions, we had jobs, and we were working full time. We had a lot of hard work. We had a lot of sweat, blood, and tears, but we also had a good time, and it was well worth it. But when Wayne came aboard, things had slowed down, and that's where real leadership came to bear. Both he and Command Master Chief Coley held the unit together. They worked, they had to take and decide what their mission was going to be, because the missions, the 23 missions which had been identified for the Naval Militia to be a force multiplier and so forth, kind of disappeared. And there was very little, if any, support for the Naval Militia at that time. And, you know, to Wayne and Willie's credit, and to the men and women who stayed with the Naval Militia, I have to say, you guys did a great job. You were dedicated to the state, you were dedicated to the unit, and I think that you had more faith in the unit and what was going to happen down the road than what the state had in you all at the time. One of the things which I thought was really, really important and was outstanding is that the training which they managed to undertake was in emergency management. I'm an emergency management coordinator in the state of Pennsylvania, and we don't have the ability to take and address emergencies. With the Naval Militia and the training which they've had under the SAGAS program, which is a well-respected program, you have a gem just sitting there waiting to be discovered and polished a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to take my hat off to each and every one of you who are here tonight, and especially to Wayne and to Willie for providing this leadership and the foresight to recognize that we're not looking to the past, but we're looking to the future. And with the world and the situation it is today, we don't know whether we're going to have another 9/11, or whether we're going to take and have a Boston situation. But whatever it is, they're prepared to serve when they're called upon. Gentlemen, I have to take and congratulate you for your leadership. And I know that this is your last big hurrah wearing the uniform of the Naval Militia. But I hope that you have a long and joyful retirement, and that you'll look back over the years and you'll remember all the good things that took place, because that's what counts. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chief.
You see that? I was an audio visual high school, so I don't know. Now, thank you, Admiral. We have 2 books of reminiscences. Yeah, I almost tied up my tongue right now. Reminiscences to pass around. We would like you to write something in these books. One for Command Master Chief Poland and one for Captain Judd. Whatever comes to mind that would be reminiscent of your association with him in the Naval Militia. So if I may circulate these, I'm not going to give it to the hand neighbors until later. Have great stories to tell about stuff and how we're here, if you don't mind. Sign your good wishes and pass them around, and hopefully there will be some good stories coming out that they can cherish in their years of retirement. At the same time, while those books are circulating around the room, I would call upon any members of the Naval Militia that would like to relate any stories that they may have about their associations with either Captain Judd or Master Chief Poland. I believe that Colonel Richter, thank you, sir. Please stand and tell us.
This isn't an amusing story, but as a member of the Army component of this joint command, and as somebody who's served in a number of joint environments over the years, I would like to express my thanks to Captain Girardet and Command Master Chief Coley for welcoming me to this command, for giving me the opportunity to contribute, and for valuing the contributions of the members of the Army component. They have a true understanding of what jointness means. I'd like to wish them good health and happiness in their retirement and assure them of my continued commitment to the New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command.
Thank you, Colonel. Anyone else? Steve? Yes.
I'd like to propose a toast. To the Captain, Command Master Chief, thank you both so much for your service. I thank you both for your leadership and for your mentorship, for bringing me in at a time when I needed the Naval Militia family, 2 days before 9/11, and for so many wonderful years and so much wonderful guidance. Thank you both very much, and to your lovely better halves as well.
Here.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Anyone else? Like to mention anything? Well, I might say something just briefly myself. This is kind of a nostalgic occasion for me, in that I think I'm the only one, I know I'm the only one remaining in the Naval Militia who sat on the screening board that admitted Captain Judd to the Naval Militia. back in 1999. And we looked at his credentials and we said, this looks like a good man for us to have. I think we got a winner here. By George, we certainly do. He has been a tremendous leader, a tremendous friend as well. And to wit, friendship, I would say that, while we weren't very close, he was very generous to me and lecturing on the subject of criminal justice, in which he had a PhD, in my classes at the University of New York. So for that, too, I am very grateful to Captain Jardine. So, anyone that cares to sign the books, please do so, and we'll pass them up to the head tables as they come around. And thank you, gentlemen, for the memories and the toast. Lieutenant Commander Ed Griffin will now present certificates of retirement and appreciation to Captain Jardine and the Master Chief.
In the interest of time, I'm going to truncate my remarks, but I would like to say this. The retirement certificates say exactly what you would expect a retirement certificate to say. The certificates of appreciation are more. They were a joint effort. Several of us collaborated on it. I started it. We had two wordsmiths that are in the advertising business who corrected everything I did 2 or 3 times. But one thing we disagreed about, I had a little paragraph in there about leadership and military bearing and deportment and all those things that go with it. And then down, I had one line separate about friendship and about being a good shipmate. And my colleague said, good writing says that all belongs in one paragraph. And I thought, not necessarily, because command and responsibility is one thing. Friendship is another. And these guys put it all together. So I kept that one separate thing. I won't read the paragraphs because we're running out of time. But I think that's very important. These guys had command presence, they got the job done, and they remained our respected friends and shipmates. Thank you so much, and if you both come up, I'd like to give you these. Master Chief, Captain, Master Chief. Now, you folks probably know the Navy does not salute indoors unless we're covered. But I'm going to violate that rule because, by God, sirs, thank you for all you've done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Griffin. Now, it is my pleasure to call Captain Jardine back to the podium to say a few words. Please.
First, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I mean, I'm overwhelmed by the turnout tonight. And especially our guests, Senator Greenstein, Tag, General Garrett, and Admiral Beard. I also want to thank the folks who put this thing together. I mean, what an effort. This is extraordinary, truly extraordinary. And I want to recognize my fellow retiree, Command Master Chief Bill Cole. Not only is he one of the finest gentlemen I've ever known, no commander could have a better Command Master Chief than Bill Cole. And I thank you for that. Tonight is the culmination for me of almost 50 years of service in one capacity or another to our nation, the state, and my community. And my lovely wife Cynthia has been with me every step of the way. And along the way, I've had the opportunity to work with some pretty dedicated folks, but none more dedicated than you, the members of the Naval Militia. It's been a genuine pleasure to work with you, and I appreciate the support that you've given me. Despite, we've had some hard times, and it's been difficult, but I'm constantly amazed that you're still here after all these years. So I want to salute you, and I want to tell you that it's been an honor and a privilege to be your commander. And I wish all of you the very best that life has to offer. And in the tradition of the Navy, I wish you all fair winds and a following sea. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Jardet. Sincerely, thank you for everything that you have contributed to the Jersey Naval Militia. Now, Command Master Chief Coley would like to say a few words. We'd like to have him come to the podium as well.
I'm not very long-winded. It's been a rough act to follow here. But counting up the years that I've been in uniform, it amounts to about 34 years. That's with the police department and the military. And I often wondered why I would wear a uniform for that many years. And I was told that ladies like a man in uniform. Now that I have to hang up my uniform, I guess I'm going to have to rely upon my pet, Rottweiler. But that said, please be careful what you name your dog. I named mine Sex. He got loose one evening, and I went out looking for him in an alleyway. A cop came along. What are you doing in the alleyway? I'm looking for Sex. My court case comes up next Monday. I received a card from my niece, who was unable to be here this evening also, along with the rest of my family. They had disposed to other things. And it says that now that you're retiring, you can throw away things to do. List and replace it with one of these. Things I must do, things I might do, but I want to think about it a little longer, and things I might do if I damn well please. With that said, I can only say it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you, Command Master Chief Coley. A fine sword, a brace of pistols, a rifle or a musket, a ship's bell, or a sea chest bound in brass was usually presented to remind a retiree of crews and ships he had served with. Colonel Connor will now present our gift of ship's bells to our friends and retirees, Captain Jardet and Command Master Chief Coley. Colonel Connor, please.
Captain Jardet and Command Master Chief Coley, on behalf of all the officers and enlisted men and women, past and present, we present you with these mementos of your service and dedication to New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command. Please come up. was told, don't let it rain, so I have to be careful. I'm a Marine, so I've got to be careful with these Navy traditions here. But I do want to read the inscription on it. Captain Wayne E. Giarday, Commander, New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command, July 1999 to 1 April 2014.
Thank you, Dad.
Command Master Chief Willie Coley. Command Duty Master Chief, New Jersey Naval Militia Joint Command, 1 October 2000 to 1 April 2014.
At this time, we also render the traditional Old Glory presentation and American flags, symbolic of the nation and the state that you have so faithfully served. I call upon Colonel Richter to read the flag, Old Glory.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am courageous, I am proud. When I am flown with other banners, my head is held a little higher, my colors are a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am saluted, I am respected, I am revered. For more than 200 years, I have fought in every battle of every war. Saratoga, Yorktown, New Orleans, Shiloh, Antietam, Gettysburg, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Midway, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the jungles of Guadalcanal, Guam, Tarawa, and Vietnam, the deserts and mountains of Okinawa, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan, and a score of other places. I was there. I led my sailors, Marines, soldiers, and airmen. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a bloody hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-torn, and tired, but my sailors and Marines cheered me. I was proud. I had been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries that I had helped to set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is done by those with whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped even the bounds of earth and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the new frontiers of space. I have been the silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hours come when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle, and when I fly at half-mast to honor my soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. When I lie in the arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God. Long may I wave.
Senior Chief Petty Officer John Percy, excuse me, will now present the retirement flags that were flown recently over the battleship New Jersey to commemorate the retirement of Captain Jordan and Master Chief Willie Coley. Senior Chief, please present the flags.
Colonel Connor, Skipper, first time. Skipper for the first time. Major General Garrett, Major General Connors, Senator Greenstein, our ladies, Grace, Lieutenant Mannion from the Coast Guard, and our Coast Guard group from Bordentown who presented our colors. It was an honor today. It was an honor when Commander Cooperman called and said that you have the flag detail. What do you mean I have the flag detail? Well, you're going to go to the battleship and pick up the flags that are going to be flying in your honor. As a matter of fact, this week, and I'd like to have all chiefs please stand. All chiefs in the room, please stand at this time. This happens to be the birthday of the Chief Petty Officer, 120 years, April 1st. I have a cake over here, which is going to be, when you cut the other cake, you have to cut this cake too. These flags, and let's see if I can have it in the right order. Because it was a date sequence. Captain Wayne E. Giardet. On 2 April 2014, the United States of America flag was flown over the battleship New Jersey, BB-62, on station in Delaware River in Camden, New Jersey. It's important that day because it flew from sunrise to sunset. Command Master Chief Coley. It's about time I don't have to say all that too. On 3 April 2014, the United States flag, America's flag, was flown over the battleship New Jersey, BB-62. These were signed by Watch Officer Master Chief John Stickney, United States Navy, retired. He is a true Master Chief. welcome you into the ranks of the retired. And those fair winds that are going to be behind you will be accompanied by those following seas, which will be calm, cool, and your collective cases will be wonderfully felt with all the heartfelt thanks of our command for those of us who are here to be with you in this flag presentation. And at this time, I got it right now. Present these. I got them all. I'll be able to put them back in. Just one other that I'd like to present. Mr. Giorday, will you please stand in place? And I will come down to you. Many days before Christmas, you asked me to do something, and I was not able to do it. But Lieutenant Morantz this evening came forward with a flag, the New Jersey Naval Militia, which I'm going to present to you. Now you can present that to your Christmas. Please be seated. Not that we won't go back up here again, but for the moment. So you can see, it is true. It's the chiefs who run the Navy. There's a tradition and all kinds of historical legends that go with naval tradition. There is the watch. The command, bosun, stand by, pipe beside, is given when people are sent overboard or brought aboard in the old days. That order has been passed on naval ships from the 1500s through the present day. Spanish, French, English, Dutch, all navies of the world use the bosun and side boys and that call to bring aboard or send ashore ships, companies, officers, visiting officers, dignitaries, and VIPs. The side boys would haul the ropes and raise a lowering board or raise or lower a board, a platform, so that the officers would not have to climb up the rat lines on the side of the ship to get their uniforms over the tar and whatnot that accumulates, of course, on the ship. In retirement ceremonies, the commanding officer of the ship would order up the jolly boat that take the crew, the dignitaries back and forth. Something like our boats. We used to go back and forth between Liberty State Park and the Ground Zero. A crew of 8 side boys with very strong backs and a bosun would haul the jolly boat up and send the shipmate ashore, home, never to sail on naval ships again. All hands on deck was passed, speeches were made about great voyages, battles fought upon the raging seas, raging storms, voyages,
the distant places and lands and ports of call that many only could dream of. Alas, our Navy has given most of the pomp and circumstance, the honors and the traditions and ceremonies back to history. But unfortunately, time and circumstances do not allow us to do these things from the past anymore, but we still, symbolically at least, stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor to pay homage to our shipmates going ashore, to honor the many years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship, and the expertise that these shipmates have freely given. As we said, they have stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizons of history, Vietnam, Iraq, 9/11, Afghanistan, these shipmates did their part in the active naval service and in the New Jersey Naval Militia. They have stood the watch. They have stood the watch like so many others, so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in perilous times. Today, we are here to say, shipmates, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those whom you have led, guided, and trained. Captain Jardé, Command Master Chief Coley, you stand relieved. We have the watch. Side boys, post. Guests, if you would please rise for the main part of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, our retirees will now report to Colonel Connor and request permission to go ashore for the last time. Side boys, take look and salute. Bosun, type the side. Shipmates going ashore. Captain New Jersey, Captain Wayne Jardé, New Jersey Naval Militia, departed. Command Master Chief Willie Coley, departed. Side boys, 2, dismissed. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our retirement ceremony on behalf of Captain Jardé and Master Chief Coley. Thank you for taking part in this time-honored tradition. Now you're invited to enjoy dessert. They will host your local cake. Thank you very much.